Welcome back, data enthusiasts. Get ready to unlock some serious Excel power today. Because we're going deep. We're diving deep into the DAX function ALLNOBLANKROW.
That's right. And this function, well, it's all about helping you clean up your data and get more accurate results, especially when you're working with relationships between tables.
Relationships between tables. Sounds complicated.
It's not as bad as it sounds. Think of it like a family tree, but for your data. You might have a table of customers and then another table with all of their orders. That's what we call a parent-child relationship in database terms.
Okay, so far so good. But I'm guessing things can get messy.
Definitely. Let's say a customer in your customer table hasn't placed any orders yet. That would show up as a blank row in the orders table, right?
Right.
But the thing is, their information is still there in the customer table. So how do we make sure we're not getting misleading results when we analyze the data? That's where our friend ALLNOBLANKROW comes in.
ALLNOBLANKROW to the rescue. So it helps us filter out those blank rows.
Exactly. Think of it like a data vacuum cleaner. It sucks up all those blank rows so we can focus on the customers who have actually placed orders.
A data vacuum cleaner. I like that. Much better than a complicated data function. But can we maybe make this even more concrete for our listeners?
Absolutely. Let's say you're analyzing sales data and you have a product that hasn't sold yet. In your sales table, there wouldn't be any records for it, so it would show up as, you guessed it, a blank row.
Yeah, a blank row.
But in the product table, it's still listed as an active product. Now, if we want to analyze our active product performance, we don't want to include products that haven't even sold yet, right?
Right. That would totally skew the results.
Exactly. ALLNOBLANKROW steps in here and filters out those products from the product table that haven't generated any sales. And just like that, you have a much clearer view of your active product performance.
So it's making sure that the information from both tables is consistent and aligned, kind of like a data marriage counselor.
I guess you could say that. Ultimately, it helps us make sure we are analyzing the right data.
Okay, that makes sense. But now I have another question for you. I know there are other DAX functions out there like all, except, and ALLNOBLANK. What's the difference between them?
That's a great question. All is like going to a buffet and eating everything in sight. You're taking all the data, no filters.
Okay, so that's all. What about except?
Except is like going to that same buffet, but saying, I'll take everything except the Brussels sprouts and the liver. You're filtering out specific things you don't want.
Okay, so that's except. Now explain ALLNOBLANK to me.
ALLNOBLANK is like grabbing all the food, but leaving the empty serving dishes behind. It removes blank values, but doesn't consider table relationships.
So far, so good. And finally, we have ALLNOBLANKROW.
This one is the most specific. ALLNOBLANKROW is like grabbing all the food at the buffet, but making sure you don't accidentally pick up an empty plate that's meant for a dish that ran out. It filters out blank rows in the parent table based on the relationship with the child table.
Wow, that's a lot of food analogies.
I've been
But it definitely helps to picture how each function works differently.
glad it helps. Knowing which function to use can really make your data analysis more efficient and accurate.
So we know ALLNOBLANKROW is great for cleaning up data and making sure our analyses are on point. But are there any situations where it might not be the best choice? What if our data is massive, like in a huge database using direct query mode?
That's a good point. While ALLNOBLANKROW is a powerful function, it does have limitations in direct query mode. For example, it might not behave as expected in calculated columns or row-level security rules.
Oh, interesting. So there are a few caveats to keep in mind.
Exactly. It's not a magic bullet, but it's a valuable tool to have in your data analysis toolkit.
For sure. I mean, think about all the hidden insights we could be missing out on just because of a few pesky blank rows.
Absolutely. It's all about finding the right tool for the job, and ALLNOBLANKROW can definitely help you get a clearer picture of your data.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, folks, there you have it. Another deep dive completed. We've explored the ins and outs of the DAX function ALLNOBLANKROW. We've learned how it can help us clean up our data, get more accurate results, and ultimately unlock hidden insights.
Remember, knowing your data is key to making informed decisions. And sometimes, a function like ALLNOBLANKROW is all you need to shine a light on those crucial insights.
So next time you find yourself wrestling with relational data sets and blank rows, remember our data vacuum analogy and give ALLNOBLANKROW a try. You might be surprised by what you discover. And with that thought, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Stay curious, keep analyzing, and we'll catch you in the next episode.